Time now to welcome in CBS Sports football analyst Bryant McFadden and 24/7 Sports reporter Brad Crawford for winners and losers in college football. And we didn't have a ton of upsets or anything like that, but you still had exhilarating football being played. Brad, I'll start with you. Who was your biggest winner from Saturday?
Yeah, it has to be Texas A&M. The Aggies at home getting it done against LSU, taking sole possession of first place in the SEC. Here we are entering the month of November, and the Aggies are the SEC's lone unbeaten in conference play. I mean, give credit to Mike Elko for having the guts to pull his starting quarterback in the second half from Marcel Reed, the dual threat off the bench, young guy who played well at Florida this year, and then had 3 touchdown runs tonight against LSU. Big time second half for him. And Elko, by the way, right now has to be the front runner for SEC Coach of the Year because some of these strings he has pulled post Jimbo Fisher with a transfer portal laden offense have just been super impressive.
I love that, Brad. Big time win for A&M, and to your point, now they're sitting atop of the conference in the SEC, which will be huge as everything works itself out. For me, I got to go with Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. And the reason why they're my biggest loser, guys, is because coming in today's matchup, many people feel like this could potentially be a trap game against Navy, who was playing outstanding football, undefeated, top 24 in the country. But Notre Dame did not listen to the elevator music outside of the building. They took care of their business, beating Navy by 37 points, 51-14. This game was never close at all. From start to finish, Notre Dame dominated. And when you look at what Notre Dame is currently doing, when you look at all the chaos that has happened in the top 10, they have been quietly taking care of their business and dominating the teams they're supposed to dominate against. And beating Navy today, they now have 3 big-time wins against 3 ranked opponents. When you look at A&M, when you look at Louisville, and currently today taking care of their business against Navy, this is a team you need to monitor as things works itself out when it comes to playoff contention, because the Fighting Irish will have something to say about that when it's all said and done.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was a point in time after they lost Northern Illinois, you're thinking, okay, here we go again, the Fighting Irish. They're fraudulent. Nobody's going to take them seriously, but they have answered the call ever since that dreadful game. How about, Brad, your biggest loser in this week?
Biggest loser in week 9 for me is Nebraska and Matt Rule. The Huskers took the lead at Ohio State in the fourth quarter, did a great job for 3 hours pressuring Will Howard, shutting down the Buckeyes' run game, only to fail in execution once again down the stretch. That's 27 straight losses to top 25 teams now for the Huskers. Matt Rule, as a head coach, hasn't beaten a ranked team since his days at Temple, spanning almost a decade now. There's a lot of jeers, by the way, associated with this offensive game plan with Nebraska. This pro-style offense, is it truly developing 5-star quarterback Dylan Raiola, or has it stunted his growth? That's the question Matt Rule's going to have to answer. And for the second straight week, guys, Nebraska failed to reach bowl eligibility with an opportunity to do so.
Well, for me, my biggest loser is tied to your biggest winner, Brad, and that's LSU, the Tigers. And the reason why they're my biggest loser, when you watch that ball game, they dominated for pretty much 3 quarters, to say the least, right? In the third quarter, you had a 17-7 lead. And all of a sudden, the collapse happened. When you look at the defense making turnovers, creating turnovers for A&M, and then, of course, the quarterback change with Marcel Reed coming into the lineup. Big-time move by Coach Elko. But when you have a 10-point lead in the second half with Garrett Nussmeier, you're supposed to find a way to win that ball game. And when you look at how the game finished, it wasn't even close. It wasn't like A&M won by a nail biter or a last-second field goal. No, they took care of their business easily by double digits. So for me, LSU, knowing what was at stake in this matchup and how you started the game and how you dominated the game for the majority of it, and you lose by double digits, that is a tough pill to swallow. And now when you look at what you have moving the rest of the way, you're idle next week, but then after that, you get Alabama coming to Baton Rouge with a lot on their mind as well. So you go from being in a position to kind of control your own destiny to now hoping and praying that you can take care of business. And also, too, you got to look outside your window because you potentially may need some help to try to get one of those 2 tickets to Atlanta for the SEC championship game in December.
Yeah, that's the issue. Like, you have all the control, right? Yeah. Just beat Texas A&M. You had the game in your hands. Now you have to really try hard to win your games and then also wait for other teams to lose in your favor. Now, the other thing about this week that's so interesting, right? We had Ashton Jeanty on Friday, right? One of the Heisman favorites in this season. But on Saturday, you still have Heisman people coming to the forefront of the table. Brad, who is your biggest Heisman winner from Saturday?
Colorado two-way star Travis Hunter. I mean, it's halftime of the game right now as we record this, but in the first half, he has 7 catches, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns on offense, and he's made quite a few plays defensively. Colorado's a team, too, by the way, that is still in the championship hunt in the Big 12 top-heavy conference. Coach Prime doing a great job in his second season. So Travis Hunter's a guy who, I know he didn't play the second half of the Arizona win, but, man, tonight, 2 touchdowns in 2 quarters, he's really showing out.
Yes, he is, making big-time plays. And don't forget about some of his PBUs that he created in the second half as well, Brad, because those go to his stats when you talk about his Heisman argument. For me, I go with the Heisman front-runner before the season started, Dillon Gabriel. Right now, you can tell he's very, very acclimated to this new offense, this new scheme there in Oregon. And now we're starting to see the production that we thought we would see in the month of September. In today's matchup against Illinois, a ranked opponent, by the way, top 20 in the top 25, 18 of 26, 291 yards, Brad, 4 total touchdowns. They kind of took their foot off the gas. The game was out of reach. But when you look at what he did in a half of play against another ranked team, right? He is really balling when you look at his outstanding games. I'm not necessarily saying he's had his Heisman moment, but balling against Ohio State and then now having another great game against Illinois, who was top 20 in college football, that says a lot when it comes to the competition. That also says a lot when it comes to his ability to play high-level football regardless who he's facing on the defensive side.
All right, so I got to ask you both this question. Brad, you first. You guys talked about your Heisman winners from Saturday, but if you had to pick a Heisman winner on this day, Saturday, who would it be right now, Brad?
You said from today.
No, if you had to pick the Heisman winner
right now, who would it be?
I think Ashton Jeanty is right now.
Okay.
Boise State is the G5 champion, in my opinion.
Okay.
For me, I'll go Ashton as well, but Travis Hunter is right there. They're like, it's a traffic jam between Travis Hunter and Ashton Jeanty. And it's about the person who kind of gets out of that left lane the fastest.
Hey, a lot of balls left, but they are providing us with some great entertainment here in this 2024 college football season. Brad Crawford, Bryant McFadden, always appreciate the time, gentlemen. So speaking about the Heisman Trophy, here are the odds to win, and Dillon Gabriel is the favorite. How about, we didn't even speak about Cam Ward. I know B-Mac, he likes Cam, but look.
He's a hurricane.
Yeah, he's a hurricane, and as you said earlier, he hasn't played any ranked teams.
Not yet.
So that's on him, but Ashton Jeanty plus 420, and then Travis Hunter plus 440 to win the Heisman Trophy. I think, yeah, Travis needs to be up there a little bit higher as well, Ashton. But that is what the odds are saying right now to win the Heisman Trophy.